here now.
Hey,
Well,
how are you doing?
good now, and yourself?
Yeah, doing good.
Good, good, good. So you're currently in quarantine at the moment. Are you in Limerick or back in
Over in
London?
London.
In
Yeah,
London.
so what I did was I was working like right up to the very end. So I kind of had to make the decision, do I keep working over here till they announce lockdown or do I go back home? So I kind of kept working until so then once it got to the point where it was getting to lockdown, I couldn't fly anymore to get back down. So I kind of had to make the choice. It kind of worked out for the best because at least I can just keep going. I've got all my stuff here. If I went back home, I wouldn't have any of the stuff. So at least I can kind of continue doing everything online, which kind of worked out for the better. It's hard not seeing family and things like that, but I just have to
Yeah, of
keep thinking
course.
of it from another way.
Yeah, no, absolutely. It's good you're kind of kept going and stuff. So we might start. So for those who don't know you, if you want to maybe just tell us a little about yourself, kind of what you do, and how it all has come about to here.
Yeah, so, well, I'm originally from Limerick and I've been living in London for about nearly coming to like 9 years, so quite a long time. And like through that, I started off really active when I was younger. I'd done ballet for about 10 years. Then I started getting to like the college years where if you were going to ballet, it was interfering with social life, things like that. You know, it was getting like too much. It became more of a hindrance and something that like I enjoyed. So I kind of just pushed that to the side. I was like, look, just go out, have a good time. I think I went to the gym like maybe like twice in 1 year. Never, I just stopped everything full stop completely and like completely just forgot about fitness. Even in college, I studied in LIT for 2 years. I'd done like business management there. Then I realized that's not really what I wanted. I kind of was very much in that place. I think like a lot of people, you're switching and changing. Every day you wake up with something different that you kind of want to do. And then my big thing was like I always wanted to live in London. That was always like the big goal. Even when I was like 7 years old coming to visit, I was like, this is where I want to be. I don't care what I'm doing, but I'm gonna get in there. So that was always the end goal, no matter what. And then I applied to do music and live events management. So kind of was like, okay, I like music. I'm not like talented music wise, but if I work like behind the scenes, you're running events, different things like that. So I applied for that in a place called High Wycombe. It's just outside London. So I was like, at least when I move over there, it's not a huge transition. You know, it's a really small place, smaller than Limerick. Like, oh, the social life is even worse. It's literally, there's nothing there. There's like one interview and there was like nothing. So I was like, okay, the transition's okay then. And yeah, so I studied that. I was kind of going through it and I was like, I'm not 100% sure is this kind of what I want to do, but you know, you're kind of in it at this stage. I was like, you know, finish it off, you get like something at the end of it. And after that, I spent some time like in the music industry, like working in that. And I was like, okay, it's okay. I like music, but I like listening to it. I was like, I don't like the rest of it. And I'm like, okay, I'm after doing this degree. I'm in this like industry that I'm just not passionate about. And then I was like, oh gosh, you know, what do I do? So I stepped away from that and went completely another route again. I just kept changing and I went down office management, which I actually loved and did not think I would like it because I always thought sitting in office, it would be awful. But what I kind of liked about it, you're sitting there, you're getting to meet like so many different people, different things. And it's just chatting to people and kind of I like that kind of side of it. I think especially like from Ireland where people we like talking to people. I think that's what I was like, oh, I'm
Fact.
getting paid to just, like, you know, you still had to work, but I got to like chat to people, which was like amazing. That was really good. And I ended up working for like a media company, which was like absolutely amazing, really good people. I really liked it. And still fitness never kind of came into my life. So I kind of like, I can understand where people are coming to me and they're like, look, I'm just not into it. And I was like, I was that person. I think a lot of people kind of fear personal trainers because they find think, okay, they were like born and bred, you know, everything was exercise, exercise, where I
Mm.
totally wasn't. Understand where people struggle with it. And it was literally just me going to a gym one day. And I was like, let me check it out and kind of see what it's kind of all about. I met like with a trainer who you could tell he hated his job and he turned me on to it even more. He was just like, you know, what do you want from me? And I was like, I want someone to kind of, you know, get me back into it. And he was just like very like against it and just wasn't very helpful, wasn't very friendly. And I was like, oh, you know, it's just not right for me. But I kind of persevered. I came back, and luckily enough, I had my induction booked in with like an amazing PT, and she became my PT and literally kind of like led me down this road. You know, the main thing for me was just like that with ballet. I loved it at one point didn't like it anymore and I stopped. And I think that's where kind of people fall apart. They see someone doing something, they're like, oh, I need to do whatever it is. If it's like, I see my friend is running, I'll go running. And then they're like, oh, I hate running. And then they stop and they don't do anything. So I think that's the important thing. There's something for everyone. It's just finding like what it's all about. So yeah, I kept working in like the office management, but while I was there, I was using that money to go save up and do like my PT qualifications. So I studied in anti and postnatal care, because I was like, it's good to kind of, the thing with personal training that I think a lot of people understand, it's not busy all the time. You're busy in the morning, you'll be busy in the evening, and what you do during the day. I think that's the biggest thing. You need to think about, like, as a business, how else will I get kind of money coming in? So if I was like target pregnant women, it's perfect while they're on maternity leave. You can train with them while they're having like the baby. You can train with them. They're your day clients. I also done like GP referral. So like that, anyone's out with an illness, I can train with them. They're around during the day, trying to make that full thing. So I wouldn't just be sitting around during the day being like, oh, what do I do now? So just different like avenues you can kind of take it is kind of where I was like planning. And then, yeah, I quit my job in, I think, January of this year. So I was like, this is 2020 is going to be my year for personal training. And then this all happened and I was like, oh, okay. So that's kind of like thrown me into online personal training, which something, once again, I just never kind of thought about doing, but it's been able like to kind of get me involved more with Ireland, which I kind of always wanted to do. With like, it was hard because I wanted to build up the base here, and always like kind of at the back of your mind, I think like anyone who moves away from home, you kind of do want to come back at some point, or how could I do? So now at least I'm like, okay, you're building up relationships with people at home, which is amazing, all through online, which is good.
Yeah, that's unreal. And one of the things actually that I noticed when I was kind of like looking through your Instagram and stuff like that, what the hashtag that you use a lot, right? So it's hashtag not another bubble butt, and that was kind of it was amusing really at the start, but really it seems to be there's a much kind of deeper tone to it. You seem to be really all about like functional fitness, and like it's not all about the aesthetic, should we say?
Yeah, definitely. I think a lot of people, especially on Instagram, you get like the cool looking video, and you see like the butt in the middle of the face, and that's how they're building it up. And I was like, that's just not me as a person. I would feel physically just uncomfortable to do it. If people want to do it, that's fine by them. But I was like, this is my approach. If people kind of want to be with that, get involved on my side. I'm not going to sit there and like charge you for an hour and just do like glute exercises with you. You're not going to get the body that you want to. If you're coming to me, you're saying you want, train for a marathon. I'm not going to be like, okay, let's just, do like squats and glute bridges for the day. It's not going to work. Your body needs to be worked as a whole to get it where you want, no matter what your kind of end goal, whether it is weight loss, you're training for like a marathon. You can't just target one area. I think that was like the biggest thing I want people to understand. If you're going to train with me, it's not going to be like a lot of like the Instagram kind of things. It's completely different.
Yeah, no, that's pretty cool. And I suppose maybe one aspect of that then, if we kind of start delving into the practical side of things, would be all about mobility. And I know you're quite strong on mobility and like I suppose the importance of it. But maybe like obviously at the moment we're all doing assignments and exams, we're hunched over from 12 hours a day over our laptops. Why should people care about mobility really is my first question.
I think the biggest thing that kind of like people will neglect, especially like people that go to the gym and, they lift these heavy weights. They go in, they lift their 1 rep max, they go home and that's it. But what they don't understand is the more mobile you can get, say you're doing your overhead presses, the more mobile you can get, the better it's going to be for your performance. The more you can kind of work on doing what your shoulder should do, not just pressing with that weight, your performance will just improve so much. Even just adding in that like little 3 minutes at the end of your session that so many people never do, it makes such a difference. Like sitting down, your hips, so many people come to me like working like that in an office job or like studying, and they're sitting down so many hours a day. Their hip flexors are just so weak. So trying to just work those into like a cool down, a warm up, anything will just make such a huge difference. Like the drills aren't complex, anybody can kind of do drills for mobility. It's definitely something really, really important. And I think further down the line, if you kind of ignore it, it's just going to get worse and worse. And the more you can kind of just get it straight away. They're simple things. You don't need like any equipment to do the majority of them. Your body weight will start doing it for you at the start. And it's the simplest things that people are like, oh my God, I didn't realize I couldn't do this. Whereas, you know, they might be like squatting like 80 kg easy, but different things are not getting full down. You know, they might have like weak ankle mobility, little things. If they worked on that, they do 100 times better, which is definitely like the importance of just seeing it from like other angles, how it can help you in like an exercise life and in kind of that daily life as well.
Yeah, the kind of general day to day, really, I suppose, isn't it? And like it can't take too much time, does it? I mean, I'd imagine a few minutes a day would make a big difference.
No, literally, yeah, literally. If you add it like all in, you know, it won't take long at all like that. I know some people, they might prefer to do like a 30-minute mobility thing because they get really into it. You definitely don't need to do that like that, like 3 minutes max. Adding it in, you know, you're fine. You'll get it in.
And you've got loads of mobility exercises over on your page that people can go check out
Yeah,
if they want to go work on their
literally.
mobility.
Yeah, just drop me a message or something like you're still like, you know, you're kind of thinking, oh, you know, this is hurting me, this doesn't feel right. Just drop me a message. It's always like something simple you can kind of do to help loosen it up and get that working, because everything in the body is kind of connected. If you ignore one part of your body, it's going to affect another kind of part. So trying to work it as much as you can, definitely.
Okay, cool. Okay, so that's mobility. So then I think we might move on then to another thing which I found interesting, which was your talk about goal setting and kind of, I suppose, really what I'm looking at here is in the context of in a few weeks' time, we're going to have kind of, everyone's probably going to have a bit more free time. There's not too many summer jobs around. So people may look to use their kind of spare time to improve themselves or to take up a new skill or anything like that. So you spoke about like mean goals versus end goals. And could you maybe just like expand on that kind of concept that you have a small bit, just for people, just so they can kind of understand it a bit more?
Yeah, like the most important thing, I think a lot of people, they kind of do neglect having some kind of an end goal, or else they kind of focus too much like that on an aesthetic kind of a goal. And it's just finding that kind of balance. You know, you do need to have something to keep you motivated. You know, certain days you're going to say, oh, I don't want to do it. But if you kind of have that goal at the end of your mind, be like, oh, okay, if I do it, then I'll get it. You know, so it is important to set some kind of a goal, but not going over the top and setting something absolutely ridiculous at the same time, which is kind of good to have like a trainer in that sense, because we can kind of make it realistic, achievable. You know, so you can have your big goal, whether it's in like, you know, a year's time, 5 years time, it's something you're kind of working towards, can be, you know, whatever you want, but breaking it down and like, it, you know, literally if you're trained, just say to do 5K, something, you're like, this is what I want to do, celebrating each one, even if you do like 1K, celebrating that and understanding, not just to keep focusing, oh, I can't get that 5K, I can't, but look at everything you've kind of done along the way. It'll help you so much more, because if you kind of keep focusing on something that is in the so far in the future, you won't, you know, keep going with your plan. You'll be like, oh, I'm just not getting it, I'm not improving. Whereas if you kind of break it down, like all my clients, we break it down by week, by month, and then over the big months, everything together, it helps so much. So then you can look, be like, okay, look what I achieved this week, that week. You can see it all set out in front of you. It just makes such a big difference, definitely.
And so what is a mean goal then? Because I've never actually heard that concept being used before. So how would you define a mean goal per se? You know,
like the mini kind of ones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
so
okay,
literally,
okay.
yeah,
So it's
literally
like a
could be like,
segment of your overall end goal.
yeah, definitely. Like breaking it up as much as you can into those kind of little goals and working towards that big goal, kind of thinking of it like it's a big picture, like it's a puzzle, putting all those little kind of pieces together and understanding if you're missing one piece, you're not going to get that kind of final one.
Okay. So that sounds good. So with that in mind then, right? So somebody who comes out after the 15th of May, they have their assignments done and they're after putting on a few COVID pounds, right? Where would you recommend they start? So I'm talking kind of ground zero here now for a student who may not really have ever been into fitness and just wants to just start and look somewhere. What would you kind of recommend that person would do?
Definitely, I think the biggest thing is looking at each day of your week. Just literally look at 1 week and being like, okay, what's my Monday like? Can I literally just go even for like a 20-minute walk? a 30-minute walk. Well, how much can I get in? And use that first week of literally just moving. Don't worry about anything else. Just seeing each day, can you increase your walking, even just something really, really small. Then just say, okay, you get to Sunday, you're like, okay, I was able to increase on the majority of days. You may not be able to increase it every day for whatever reason. Then look at week 2. Then be like, okay, can I start to add in a little bit more exercise? You know, if I'm doing my walk, can I start adding in, you know, a few squats, different things like that while I'm even out walking? You know, doing things really small, be like, okay, that's week 2. And then week 3, start looking, okay, can I now start building an exercise program? Can I start, you know, putting in some strengthening exercises, different things like that, working in mobility, then start working into the structure? Because I think a lot of people, they'll go too far ahead and try to do like, you know, a really advanced like HIIT exercise on day 1. They'll be 10 minutes in and be like, oh, I hate this, and walk away. Whereas if you're doing absolutely nothing, just getting moving in the first place is a huge achievement, and understanding that's an achievement for week 1 alone. Just get moving. That's your biggest thing. And definitely have it like all written out, whether you're someone that's still like pen to paper, you have it on your phone, laptop, anywhere, just have it written down that these are what I'm going to achieve at the end of each week. And then like by month 4, you're definitely into your structured exercises on whatever day. And the biggest thing is putting it into your calendar. I say to all my clients, you'll put it into your calendar. If something's in your head, you're thinking about it, you know, it's easy to throw it off. Whereas it's written down, you're kind of more likely to do it. Whether like that, you're getting in with a friend, especially at the beginning. I think that really, really helps. Sometimes when you're by yourself, it's easy to just throw something off. Whereas when you're kind of with someone, especially, I know now there's so many like Instagram lives, workouts happening. You're like, oh, I'm going to do it. How many people are actually doing it versus how many people are sitting on the couch watching someone doing, be like, oh, I should do it, but they won't do it. Whereas you kind of physically have someone there with you, it makes a huge difference, whether it's a friend, a trainer, or even like where I've been doing my online classes is an app called BuaFit, and we come together as a community and we're working out together online at the same time. It's not like there's no interaction. You actually have someone kind of holding you accountable for everything. And I think definitely that's the biggest key that people kind of forget, is that accountability will make a huge difference. You know, if you're someone who kind of finds it difficult to stick to anything, a lot of my beginners, you know, they'll sign up to something, it'll be for free, and it's no loss to them. But if you're putting like money behind, you're adding kind of that investment into something, a lot of people don't want to throw money away. So they're like, oh, I'll turn up to it, I'll do little things. It makes a huge, huge difference.
So then in summary, really, it's start small. It's get a friend or some sort of accountability and put it into your calendar. They're kind of maybe the 3 things that you'd say to anyone who'd be starting off.
Yeah, definitely. Don't go absolutely crazy. You know, don't try and throw yourself in at the deep end. Nice and gradual. If you've done absolutely nothing before, you know, don't go crazy and think you're going to go on like a 10K run, you know, on your first day. If you've absolutely never done it, you have no like idea of your form, anything like that. You know, it's better to start small and then pick it up quickly, or regress it if you need to, rather than going absolutely crazy, injuring yourself 3 days in and then being out for like a month. You know, it doesn't make sense. Just do it nice and gradual. I think a lot of people are very like kind of impatient with things. So it's kind of understanding it's a process. You at the start will be probably, you'll see that progress really quickly if you stick to it. And then it's just understanding how to start programming so you don't start plateauing or going backwards down that slope again, still going like progressing with that overload each time.
Yeah, okay, that sounds pretty cool. So how would you say then would like the best way, in your opinion, for people to like track their progress? So I know like obviously we have like weighing scales, and you could weigh yourself every day if you wanted, or you could take progress pictures. What do you work best?
It's, I think, really like depending on the person and what it is they're kind of like trying to achieve. I think the biggest thing, like with people that want to lose weight and they like just say they weigh themselves twice a week. With when you're trying to lose weight, it's really important that you start building in some kind of resistance strength training as well, just to start getting the muscle tone up, so you're not just dropping just weight. It's kind of more about the fat loss. I think a lot of people I'll focus on the word weight, where it's probably they want fat loss. They still want a nice shape and not just kind of like dropping a load of weight. They want a shape to their body as well. So what they'll find is they're going on the weighing scales, and the weighing scales might either just stay the same, or they might start going up and they're like, oh, why is this happening? But like that, they're trying to build muscle. So if they've just got like that standard weighing scale that's not showing them, you know, their muscle mass and things like that, it can kind of, they're kind of sitting there thinking, oh, this isn't working for me. And that's when they start, you know, oh, this isn't, I'm going to walk away from exercise. It doesn't work. Whereas if they kind of take different things like that, have a combination of, you know, those progress pictures, have like some kind of like, you know, an outfit that doesn't fit them, but they want to fit into, whether it's that like pair of jeans, just something, you can see it a lot more like kind of visually. Sometimes with the numbers, it's kind of a mind game. It's just understanding that that won't always just keep going down, especially when you're trying to bring in a little bit of resistance training, not unless you've got, you know, the money to go for like those full body scans to see, you know, the different kind of muscle mass that you're building and then the fat actually going down. So it's kind of different combinations. Then if you're someone who wants to go off running or something like that, you know, I know Nike has got like some really good apps and you can kind of track yourselves, things like that, you know, so have something to track yourself, but make sure that it kind of works like that. Don't rely on one thing, you know, have like a combination of things will definitely make that huge difference.
Mm. Oh yeah, I think that's a very good shout. And then in terms of, so we were talking about resistance training. So like, can people like, can you really, I suppose, resistance train at home at the moment when we don't really have access to gyms and stuff? Is that something that you feel is still possible?
Yeah, like if you're a beginner, your body is a resistance, you know, at that beginning stages, if you've never done any kind of like strength training, resistance training, anything like that before, you probably don't know the exact form of getting everything right. You might not know how to squat, lunge, perfect. So if you went into a gym and all of a sudden are picking up like a 10 kg barbell and you're squatting with the wrong form, you know, that's just going to injure you. So you're better off using this time with your body weight, learning those exact moves. So that person doesn't need anything at all. They need to focus on their form. Then you start moving on to the next person who has a little bit more experience. You know, you can see people like that, they're filling up, you know, backpacks with like, you know, tinned food, different things like that. It's not ideal, but if you have absolutely nothing, it's better to kind of have something, especially if you're used to it, then playing around with like different tempos, you know, time under tension, different things like that, rather than just going up and down for different times. You might go nice and slow down into your squat, nice and slow back up. Your muscles are working completely different. So you might be able to lower your load in terms of weight, but your muscles are still working. You'll feel it a lot more because a lot of people will rush through their squats or their lunges. Slowing it down will hit completely different. You know, you can still kind of get that benefit from it. It's just playing around with different tempos, different things, trying to think, you know, what else can I use around the house? Whatever you kind of have, there's always like something. So I know like quite a few of my clients, we were working in private gyms and all of a sudden they had like absolutely no equipment at home. So we're kind of trying to make up those home equipments that you can do as much as possible. It's definitely possible, different things that you can do. It's just being definitely creative and thinking of different ways.
Yeah, okay, that's so cool. I think there was some really good info there. So I want to talk about healthy foods. Right? So you kind of spoke a bit about them. There was one post in my mind in particular where you really you spoke about the stigma around healthy food and how I think really about how food labels are bad, and maybe let's explore that a bit because I thought you kind of had some interesting thoughts on that.
Yeah, like a lot of people, they focus so much on healthy foods, but it's kind of understanding what is that healthy food. It's very different, I think, for every single person. What they think is healthy is not what someone else is going to think is healthy. And it's kind of, a lot of it can be a marketing term. You know, if you're someone, you're like, okay, tomorrow I'm going on a diet, I'm going to go to like Tesco and I'm just going to get everything that says healthy. You know, that's a really good way for those people to sell something. You know, a lot of people, there's always going to be somebody somewhere claiming they're on some kind of a diet, different things like that. And naturally they probably will turn, they think that's the best option. You know, so it's kind of looking more deeper into that. Just because it says healthy, it doesn't mean it actually is. You know, it's not like a protected word. You know, anybody could put healthy on something and that's it. That's their marketing thing done. You know, it's really easy to kind of look at it. You know, it depends on what your goal is as well in terms of your healthy kind of a thing. everyone is going to be different. You know, you need to start looking more at the other side of the packaging, not the front part that says healthy, and start looking behind at the actual ingredients and what's kind of in it if you want to get into something that's kind of healthy in that terms. But you know, it's definitely something that people kind of need to be careful of and not get too caught up with. A lot of people, you know, they feel bad because they've ate that chocolate bar, but on the scale of everything they've eaten up that day, it makes absolutely no difference. But they'll beat themselves up for like 3 days later for still eating on that one thing. But, you know, there's nothing technically bad about eating that. You know, it might only be like a really small amount of calories, but they have it in their head that it's not that healthy food. So it's kind of just understanding food is food at the end of the day. Trying not to beat yourself up about something so small.
And particularly at the moment, I suppose, when kind of, I suppose, everyone is so under pressure with exams and there's a lot of stress, and like maybe like having that little chocolate bar might just be the best part of your day, you know?
Exactly. Just go with it. You know, exactly like you're saying, you know, if you're under stress and that chocolate bar is going to help you through, what's the point in not having it and stressing yourself out 100 times worse for a chocolate bar? You know, it's not going to, you know, make a huge difference to your life. You know, just go with it. And especially now, so many people, their lives have been turned upside down with everything that's going on. Everything's going to be a little bit more high intensity, a little bit more stressed. Just take it with it. Just keep going with it. You know, understanding that it's okay to eat something that you don't think is technically healthy. You know, it's only a small thing. You know, when this is all over, go back into, you know, looking into different things again. But right now, just go with whatever your body's kind of feeling.
Yeah, no, I think that's really solid advice, and probably good advice maybe just to kind of wrap up on. So Casey, where can people find you online? And if you want to maybe just talk a little bit about like what you're doing online at the moment.
Yeah, so everything is on my Instagram, so Casey Brinn _PT. I kind of think of my name there.
I think we've been linked anyway in a post.
Everything's on that. So basically, I'm doing all the online one-to-one PTs, and also, so that's literally just private to myself. Just drop me a message and we can set that up. And then we've also got the group classes. So that's something new that I've started since this whole kind of lockdown quarantine has happened. It kind of started off just as something for me to kind of keep on track with my own kind of training. I was like, oh, I was finding it difficult. I know a lot of people are, just to get the motivation to go. And it was called really about that accountability that I was talking about. I was like, okay, if I set up this class, I know I'm going to have to do it. And people sign up, it'll make me work out. And it all kind of got started from that. And then I started looking into it more. How can I kind of grow on these kind of classes? And I found an app called BuaFit, which is set up by a guy called Dave. And he's from Dublin originally. So he has that kind of Irish roots. And it's set up originally as like kind of an outdoor kind of classes in London, which obviously can't happen anymore. So he's kind of transitioning it, turning it into online focus for now, with the hope of in the future sticking with outdoor and online. So all my classes are on that, and everyone in UL gets like 20% off all the classes. So it's not just my classes. They've got literally like yoga, they've got boxing, they've got everything, loads of different ones. So literally just sign up. The link is in my bio. Just click on that and you'll be able to like join into that, which is definitely a really good way to like stay fit now and keep everyone accountable.
Okay, very good. Right, I think we're good. We'll leave it there. Casey, thanks very much for joining us.
Great, thank you so much.
Very good. Bye now.
Bye.
And that is it for another Wellness Wednesday. I would like to remind you all that Wolfie is in the World Mascot Final, and I think the voting starts for that tomorrow. So please, please, please vote Wolfie. Get all your friends to vote Wolfie, and we'll retain the title, hopefully. So listen, thanks very much to anyone who joined in again today. And we will, I'm not sure if we're going to do next Wednesday. We might leave it off. But if we are, we'll see you next Wednesday. If not, best luck in your assignments. Ciao, ciao.